Hello everyone, welcome back. Last class we discussed about the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Now let's go to the cell. So last time I have given you the introduction of the cell. What are cells? It is the basic structural and functional unit of life. So let's go to the further introduction or further explanation. According to Lowy and Sikiewicz 1963, cell is a unit of biological activities surrounded by a selectively permeable membrane and capable of self-reproduction. Here, selectively permeable membrane means a cell wall which does not allow every other living foreign organisms. It only allows to enter in the cell which has benefit for the cell. Other non-benefit they does not or they cannot enter in the cell. And a self-reproduction, here self-reproduction means either by mitosis or meiotic division. Here it does not occur through sexual reproductions or anything. It occurs through budding, fission and all. Cell shape. Now let's talk about the shape of the cell. The shape of the cell in every living organism is different. Your shape of a cell on the hair is different, on the stomach is different, and the shape of the cell on your body or ears, lips, tongue is different. Everything is different. Some might be long, some might be short, some might be big, some might be small or cylindrical, oval. So these are the shape of the cell. Now let's discuss. The shape of the cells are related to their function. It may be variable as in amoeba and white blood cells, or fixed in plant and animal. Amoeba, single-celled and single-celled animal during locomotion changes its shape. Similarly, leukocytes also change their shape by producing pseudopodia and become irregular in shape. Now we are talking about a unicellular cell. So in unicellular cell they changes according to their functions. So in amoeba the shape of the cell is different, but when they are having their food through pseudopodia, so the mouth of the food amoeba can be said to be pseudopodia. So when they are having food, they changes their shape, little bit crooked. So in case of multicellular organism, the shape of the cell depends on their functional adaptation and partly on surface tension and viscosity of the protoplasm, mechanism action exerted by adjacent cells and turgidity of the cell membrane. Therefore, cells may have diverse shapes such as spherical, egg cells, elongated nerve cells, branched pigment cells of the skin, discoidal RBC, and so on. So in multicellular organism, that is in plants or animals, the shape of the cell is different. Either it can be elongated in nerve cell, branched in pigment of the skin, discoidal on the RBC. Now you look at a figure 1.13. You see that the shape of the cell is different. So how does it changes? It changes either by the viscosity or turgidity when they are in a close compact. When they are in a together like this, it changes their shape. Now let's talk about the cell size. You know the cell size of prokaryotes and eukaryotes is different. Prokaryote cell is 1 to 10 micrometer. Eukaryotic cell is 1 to 100. So 10 to 100 micrometer. So in this, between this, you will see different types of cell. Okay, different sizes of the cells. The size of the cell varies greatly in plants and animals. Some cells are visible to the naked eye, like egg of ostrich, 18 centimeter, and ovule of cycas. Cycas is a fruit or plants. Some nerve cells of human beings have meter-long, tall axon. A single-celled nerve cell of a single-celled algae, Acetobularia, is 10 micrometer in height, and sclerenchyma cell, that is fiber cells of Manila heme, are more than 100 centimeter in length. Most prokaryotic cells are the range of 1 to 10 micrometer. 1 micrometer is 1,000 of a millimeter. Most eukaryotic cells are microscopic, measuring 10 to 100 micrometer. The size of the unicellular amoeba protist is the biggest among all unicellular organisms. It is length of 60 micrometer or 0.6 millimeter. In multicellular organisms, the size of the cell ranges from 10 to 20 to 30 micrometer. The smallest cells are found in bacteria, 0.2 micrometer to 0.1 micrometer. Example: Mycoplasma gallisepticum, that is an organism intermediate between the virus or bacteria. It is about 0.1 micrometer in size. So the smallest cell or smallest size of the cell is 0.1 micrometer in Mycoplasma gallisepticum. So that is the organism intermediate between virus and bacteria. So it is neither virus, it is neither bacteria. So this Mycoplasma gallisepticum is neither a virus nor a bacteria. You have to remember that one. And it is the smallest size or smallest cell. So here you see that the shape of the cell is very different. Size of the cell is very different. Some may be big, like an ostrich or cycas, or some may be very small. Some may be ranging from centimeter, some may be ranging from millimeter also, micrometer. Now let's see the volume of the cell. The cell volume in general is fairly constant for a particular cell type and is independent of the size of the organism. For example, kidney and liver cells are about the same size in the mouse, house, and bull. The difference in size of the organism depends on the number of cells only and not on the volume of the cells. Therefore, the cells of an elephant are not larger than those of other tiny animals or plants. Due to the large number of cells present in the body, the elephant becomes large. So the volume means space, how much space is there in the cell. So either it is a very tiny organisms like ant or amoeba, or animals or plant cells, okay, like organs like kidney or liver, lungs. So both cells are same, both volume are same. It does not mean that if you compare yourself with an elephant and ant, elephant is large and ant is small, but the similarity is that the volume of the cell remain same in either elephants or in ant. So by looking at the size of the animals or organism, you cannot say that cell volume is larger or that cell volume is bigger, because the cell volume remains constant. That means remains the same, either it is small animals or small organisms or big organisms. Now let's talk about the number of the cell. So cell number, you know the eukaryotes, prokaryotes and eukaryotes, or unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms you have only one, and multicellular organisms you have so many. So here the cell number varies on the shape of the organism or size of the organism. Some animals remain very big, some animals are very small, some organisms are very small. So bacteria, a single cell organism, has only one cell, and like human beings has more than millions, trillion. Here 100 trillion cells are present in a single organism or human body. So the cell number in an organism varies with the size of the organism. Unicellular organisms have a single cell. In multicellular organisms, the cells are indefinite, means so many you cannot count. In Pandorina, number of cells are 8, 16, 32 or 64, and in Eudorina 16, 32 or 64. In man, the number of cells is about 100 trillion, that is 10 raised to power 14. So you see, different animals or different organisms have different types of or different number of cells. So depending on the size of the cell, you will find that the number of the cell varies, or the number of the cell is different in each organism. So that is all about the cell, its structures and all. Next class we will discuss about the cell structure. So please write the notes on your copy. Thank you.